she's popularly, her name is Opeyemi Ogundeji, popularly known as Mrs. O. So she's going to be sharing with us today a few tips on self-awareness in dating relationships. So be blessed as you join us. Thank you. So over to you, Sister Opeyemi.
All right, Ma. Good evening. Yeah, right. So, good evening to you, Sister Tola, and to everyone watching us. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are watching us from. So, and like Sister Tola has actually introduced me, my name is Opeyemi Ogundeji, and my people call me Mrs. O. So, like short form of Ogundeji, and in the workplace, or people who know me like that, they call me OOG, which is just basically the short form of my names, right? So, and I regard myself as a development professional because I'm keen about youth-led, like managing projects that are geared towards, empowering young people, empowering women, and also equipping others with the right knowledge and skills just to enable them to live a more fulfilled life, to live, to be able to also contribute to societal change, like positive change for good. So, and what else do you want to know about me? So, my name is Opeyemi, right? And like I said, I'm a development professional, and I'm so happy to be here this evening. And thank you so much for the invitation, Statola. And I think is this where I start my session, right?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So today I've actually been invited to speak on self-awareness in dating relationship, and I think as young people, basically, because me, I'm more like geared towards young people and women, right? There is one thing, if there's one thing I've noticed that is actually very core and very good and relevant for self-development, particularly, is our ability to know who we are, like understanding our own strengths, our own weaknesses, what our opportunities are, and also understanding things that trigger us, like our threats, right? Because when we are able to get into our own skin and get to know ourselves better, right, it goes a long way in how we communicate to others and how we also engage with others. So someone who doesn't know himself or herself very well will just have the tendency to move with the flow. Anything anyone calls the person, that's what the person will not be flowing with. Whereas you might be even be more than what that person is saying. But because you've not really gotten to sit back, self-reflect, assess and be like, okay, what exactly am I doing, or who exactly am I? And that's the basis for the conversations that we're having this evening on self-awareness in dating relationship, because relationship involves two people, right? Like in the immediate is two people, but when we stretch it further, it's more than those people, because there will also be external people involved, like there are families and other people involved. Now, I am keen on letting young people and women know that even before that relationship come on board, that relationship that you are looking forward to come on board, the first thing that we need to get to do is to get to know who we are. Like, who are you? And before coming here today, I actually noted some questions that are actually germane and important for us to ask ourselves. And I would just like probably just call them like 5 W's, right? And it's basically about who are you, what is your story, where are you going, why do you matter, and when should you pair up? So these 5 questions, I believe that if we can genuinely answer them very well, it will help us to become more aware about who we are, and even improve the quality of the relationships that we actually go into. Because no one is going into relationships with the thought that, okay, when I enter into this relationship, this is how long I'm going to go in for it. I mean, if you're a godly person, as a Christian, what Bible says that to death should do you part. So that means that when you're going to that relationship, you need to go into it with every of your body parts opened up, like you are alive, you are aware. Let me use that word. I'll use that word. Okay, you are aware of what you're doing, not just about, oh, I'm at this age, the word says that I'm supposed to be in a relationship, and that is what you think it is all about. No, beyond that relationship, you are a person, and that is what you need to get accustomed to first. So the first question I asked was, who are you? So when someone asks me, who am I? My name is Opeyemi Ogundeji. Beyond Opeyemi Ogundeji, there are other things that makes up Opeyemi Ogundeji. There are things that I like. There are things that I do not like. There are things that triggers me. There are things that make me happy. So that's more like the basis of the question, who are you? What are your values? Because those things actually make you. What are your goals? Right? Those things actually make you. So who are you? Who are you? Is a question that should be resounding in our heads, like as young people and single people, right? Even when you even get into a relationship, you should still be resounding, because sometimes when people enter into a relationship, they lose themselves, and what that cause in the long run is bitterness. And that's when you say that, okay, well, why am I even now in this relationship? So because you are like shortchanging yourself, you are cheating yourself, you're not satisfying yourself. It's not about being selfish. It's about like being authentic, being your authentic self, and being in your own skin, like being your own person, and whom God has actually made you to be. And one Bible verse that always come up in my head when the question of who are you is, I know for me, right, there was a time that it was so impressed on my heart. I'm like, okay, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? Because I mean, that is more like the definition of who you are, because it is God that created me, right? And they said the person who created you is the person who knows who you are very well. The person who made an electric iron is the person that understands all the things that made up the electric iron. He or she knows where he puts the bolts, where they use the ceramic, what they molded it, where they welded it. Like that person understands the nitty-gritty. So knowing who we are, right, the ability to be able to answer that question genuinely is now based on us asking God about, okay, who am I, right? Yes, what did you create me for? What were you thinking when you were making me or forming me in my mother's womb? And one, especially if you're a child of God, one definition of who you are is in First Peter, that says we are a royal priesthood, a holy nation. So if that verse is resounding, it will guide some of the actions you'll be taking either in your singlehood or in your marriage relationship. If God says you are a holy nation, if God says you are a priesthood, that means that you must be behaving like a priest. That means that you must be behaving like a holy nation. A holy nation carries himself or herself in a particular way. So all of those things, if they are resounding in our head, because that is how you are defining yourself, because it will be so ingrained in your heart, in our heart, that we will not begin to see ourselves in that light. We will not begin to carry ourselves in that light. Psychologists that say that when you wake up in the morning, you go to the mirror and say that you are beautiful, you are this, you are that. They know why they say so, and that is why I always encourage people that for each phase of our life, right, or for each question about our life that we're not too sure of, ability to be able to get a scriptural verse to attach to it, it will actually make things easier. Personally, myself, I'm like, oh, God loves me so much, because I've seen it severally in different verses, and that's why I always keep saying it to myself, that God loves me, God loves me, God loves me. And I do not say it because I am saying it for saying it. I say it because I'm so aware. I understand already. So the same for who are you. What is that Bible verse that God has actually assigned to you or attached to you to define your own makeup, like your own being? And that will help in directing the kind of partner, either if you're a young woman or a young man, it will be directing you in order to know the kind of partner to even get coupled with or to pair up with. And in order to also know the family, the kind of family to also look into. Look at Abraham. When Abraham wanted to send the servants to go and look for